Hello and welcome. This is your 9 p.m. daily quiz and we are back with today's questions. As you know, every single day we take up questions from the topics that are in the news, try and frame questions from those topics from the prelims examination point of view. The best way to attend the quiz is when you see the question, pause on the screen, think about the answer, then play and see if you got that right. In the comment section, do let me know how many did you get correct. I'm glad to see a lot of you are regular here. Do continue watching this. It's usually a 10 to 11 minute video and it will help you revise the current affairs in an effective manner. Also, you can check out the other courses that I'm running. You can download my app from the Google Play Store. The name of the app is Harshmeet Study Circle. I'm giving the link in the description of the video. If you want to check out any of the courses like the PSIR Comprehensive Live course or the answer writing course, do check that out as well. Let's begin with the first question then. Consider the following statements with regards to Patents Amendment Rules 2024. So this year only, the government amended some of the rules of the patent law. That is what the question is about. Number one, timeline for filing RFE, that is request for examination, is now reduced from 48 months to 31 months from the priority date. Second, certificate of inventorship has been introduced to recognize an inventor's contribution to patented inventions. Third, the term of every patent granted has been increased to 30 years from 20 years from the date of filing of the application. How many of these are correct? Now, patent is one of those interesting laws that remains a lot in the news, especially with Western countries such as the US not being happy with India's IPR, intellectual property rights laws, especially the patent law. With that respect, the Government of India changed certain rules this year. First is correct. The timeline for filing RFE has been reduced to expedite the process of granting of patents. Second is also true. Actually, the interesting part is when the patent is given in India, the patent certificate does not recognize the name of the inventor. So in the patent certificate, you don't have the name of the inventor as such. So how do you know who is the one who invented this? Who can claim that I am the inventor? So for that, a special certificate has been launched called Certificate of Inventorship. Third is wrong. That is still 20 years only. That is usually the law around the world. So in most of the countries around the world, the patent is granted for 20-year period only and it remains the same. So if you, let's say, invented something new today, you apply for patent, they'll give you for 20 years. So for next 20 years, no one can copy it. After 20 years, it will be open and others can also make the same thing. So the answer here is B. Two of these are correct. The third statement is wrong. There's an article in the Indian Express newspaper about how Indian patent applications have increased considerably in financial year 2024. Foreigners have also applied for Indian patents in a lot of scenarios. Next question number 2. Consider the following statements with respect to the national flag. Why are we discussing this? Because this is July the 22nd, the day that the national flag was adopted in the Constituent Assembly. Number 1. In Constituent Assembly, the motion to adopt the national flag was moved by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Second, the diameter of the wheel is approximate to the width of the white band. And third, the ratio of the width to the length of the flag is 3:2. Think about it. Think about the national flag. What or how many of these statements are correct? First one, who moved this resolution to adopt the national flag? Not Vallabhbhai Patel. It was Jawaharlal Nehru. It was Nehru, just like the objective resolution that became the preamble. He introduced the motion to adopt the national flag as well. The second one is correct. The wheel of the Ashoka Chakra in the middle, the wheel, the diameter is supposed to be approximate, that is similar to the width of the white band. The third statement, which says a ratio of width to the length is 3/2. This is the easiest to imagine. If you imagine the national flag, the perfect version of it, this is actually wrong. That ratio is 2:3 and not 3:2. That is why the answer here would be A. Only one of them is correct. First and third one are wrong. The second one here is correct. There's an article in the Indian Express newspaper because it is 22nd of July, which is the National Flag Day. Next question number 3. In 2021, the e-Shram was launched by, so e-Shram is a portal basically. It was launched by Ministry of Labour and Employment, Ministry of Rural Development, Ministry of Corporate Affairs or Ministry of Home Affairs. Think about it, not a difficult question to answer. e-Shram portal. This portal, as the name says, is for the registration of the workers, the labourers in India. The answer thus is A. Ministry of Labour and Employment in 2021 launched the e-Shram portal In the PIB, the news is that around 30 crore unorganized workers have been registered on this portal. Now, this is specially to register unorganized workers so that the government can recognize them. If the government wants to, let's say, create a scheme for them, they should have a database for them. They will be verified using Aadhaar data, and it is done through a self-declaration basis. The worker can register himself or herself. Next question, number 4. The treaty at the end of the Anglo-Nepalese War resulted in Nepal losing a chunk of its territory to the East India Company. Article 5 of the treaty took away the jurisdiction of Nepal's rulers over the land to the east of the river Kali. Which treaty are we talking about? So under this treaty, a territory of Nepal was taken away by the East India Company. Which treaty is it? It is a treaty of Punakha. Is it the Nepal-Britain Treaty of 1923? Is it the Treaty of Stinchulu, or is it none of the above? Think about it. This treaty is referred to very often whenever we talk about India-Nepal relations, especially whenever there is a border dispute between India and Nepal. This treaty is referred to. The answer is none of the above, because we are talking about the Treaty of Sagauli. The Treaty of Sagauli of 1814. That is the treaty that we are talking about. It is with respect to that particular treaty that there is an article in the Indian Express newspaper. This is not an article in today's newspaper. As I said earlier, we will discuss some of the topics that were in the news a few weeks back. So a few weeks back, when Nepal's Prime Minister was in India, at that time there was an article in the Indian Express newspaper about India-Nepal relations, the border issue especially, when it talked about the Treaty of Sagauli and the role it played in India-Nepal border dispute. Next question, number 5. With reference to the World Migration Report 2024, consider the following statements. Number 1. India is the origin of the largest number of international migrants in the world. Second, India is ranked first as a destination country for immigrants. Third, India is the only country from Asia in top 5 remittance recipient countries list. All this data is from, all this or related data is from the Migration Report 2024. Which of these is correct? Now, if you think of it, first and second both don't seem to be true together. One says that largest number of people go outside your country. The other says largest number of people come into your country. So it can't be, both can't be this true. So from India's aspect, second is false. We are not the largest destination country for immigrants. So not a lot of people come to India from different countries. First one is right. Largest number of Indians are national or international immigrants, international migrants. People go outside the country for job, for education purposes, and for other purposes, for settling down. Third, India is the only country in top 5. No, India is a top country. Apart from that, we also have China in the top 5 and Philippines in the top 5. So in top 5, we have India, China, Philippines. From Asia, not just India alone. India is the largest recipient receiver or largest receiver of remittances, but not the only Asian country. The answer thus is A. Only one is correct. Second and third statements here are wrong. Again, a few weeks back, 8th of May, this was the article in the Indian Express newspaper about the World Migration Report of 2024. We have taken the question from there. We'll end this session today with an important infographic. As we discussed earlier, every single day we'll either end this with a quote of the day or important information infographic. Today's infographic is about the reorganization of states in India since our independence. As you know, at the time of our independence, the states in India were divided into 4 categories, category A, B, C and D. They were later reorganized, starting with Andhra Pradesh when the demand for linguistic state was made. After that, we had the State Reorganization Committee, following which we had the 7th Constitutional Amendment and Part A, B, C, D were removed. Since then, all these states have been carved out. This is the chronological order, along with the Union Territories. Do remember this. This is important for the examination, especially the prelims exam. This brings to the end of the session. If you're new here, do hit the like and the subscribe button. You can join my Telegram channel as well, where I share all these PDFs. You can join that by using the link in the description of the video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Jai Hind.